Ciryl Gane called out Sergei Pavlovich. I got to tell you guys, I love it. What do you think? And what do you think of that? Is there any kind of a play there? Is there any kind of a strategic play for a former champion, a former number one contender, to go after today's current number one ranked guy? Normally I would think so. And in this case, I would have to imagine that looking at the rankings and trying to find a road back after that abysmal performance with Jon, that there would be some strategy put into that. One thing about Ciryl Gane, we have a very hard time finding guys that could stand and trade with him. In the two fights that Ciryl's lost off the top of my head, we've got Francis Ngannou, we've got Jon Jones. They both spent, percentage-wise, a significant amount of time on the ground. The Francis fight with Ciryl Gane, more time than we ever thought they would spend down there. What was it? 2 rounds? Just about 2 full completed rounds down there. He's a lot to deal with on his feet. 27-2 kickboxing record off the top of my head. The point is that I'm trying to make. It's a very intriguing match. We know how well Pavlovich has done. We don't quite know how good he is. He's with the skills of the guys that he's taken on, none of which are Olympic or high caliber wrestlers. He's been able to go out there and just maul them. Bring a storm, look around, nobody's left standing, raise this pudgy little hand and move on to the next one. I mean, in large part, that's what it seems like. Now, it would be interesting when they put him in there with a meaningful wrestler that's going to take him off his feet. That's not what Ciryl represents. But you know what else would be interesting? To put him in there with someone who can defend themselves on their feet, who was a professional kickboxer, who within the sport of MMA outpunched and kicked Francis Ngannou. It's interesting. I think it's the most that I can say for the case. I don't believe if Ciryl beats Pavlovich that it necessarily poof like that, Ciryl's back in the talks. I do think if Pavlovich is to beat Ciryl, yes, he instantly would be in consideration to go in and fight for the belt. And right now, I don't have any better ideas. I'm not sure how open to the idea that Pavlovich is available. I don't know how open to that idea I am. I don't know how much I believe Jon versus Stipe, Madison Square Garden in November. I don't know how close we are to actually doing that. That's just a fight for me as a viewer that I was told through the grapevines, but it's damn strong vines by this point in time. I was supposed to see that. We were supposed to see that on December 10th of last year. When that didn't get worked out, we were going to see that on March 4th. Well, then we did the fight, but we did it without the firemen. But the firemen and Jon Jones agreed for all of us to see, so there's no mistake. They agreed on social media to meet International Fight Weekend. And now we're told that we're looking at November. I'm not a buyer. I don't think we are. And I think Pavlovich's time and opportunity is going to come a little bit faster than that. And if I'm hearing these things and I believe them to be true, then that means Ciryl has heard these things and Ciryl believes them to be true. So he is trying to get in the way and get in the business for multiple reasons of Pavlovich. I don't personally buy into the idea that Jon Jones won't fight the next generation, just for example. I don't believe that Jon Jones is looking at Stipe and leave. I don't think that's true. But if it is true, and he can't get to this Stipe business, you can see where Ciryl being associated with Pavlovich would make a whole lot of sense. It sounds like we're going to have to call that an interim title fight till we get things worked out. But if we do get things worked out and we pull both of them, the fireman and the champion, maybe we stick them in there for the undisputed. It's not what I would predict for you would happen, but it would be unusual circumstances. I find these circumstances to be a little bit unusual as it is. When you have a heavyweight champion and a clear number one contender and you've got venues booked up and down the board and we can't bring them together, for me, that's a little bit unusual. So how much gamesmanship is put into to Ciryl's call out? I suppose we'll never know. But would it be an interesting fight? Ciryl Gane ducking and sliding and moving around and causing Pavlovich to burn some energy, causing him to get to the 3 and 4 and 5 minute mark, causing him to perhaps have to go to plan 2, whether that was a clinch or that was some wrestling. Everything about Pavlovich and Ciryl Gane is very interesting to me. I hope they make the fight. I'm not willing to predict they're going to make the fight because I think Sergei's being put on hold for something else. But if you can find a reason to do it, I don't think you have to look very far to find people that want to see it.